This rail is like the perfect little arm holder. Hi, welcome back to my channel. I didn't mean to take a month break. It kind of happened like that. So yeah, I'm back again. How are you all doing? I hope you're doing well. I wanted to come on here with a life update. It's been a while since I've made a video like this, and I have some things I want to tell you guys about, to update you on some exciting things going on in my life. So let's see. What a year this year has been. I know I didn't announce my divorce publicly until I think it was August or September of last year, but June 6th was my 1 year anniversary of leaving my marriage. Not my 1 year anniversary of divorce, because the process of divorce took a lot longer than I wanted it to and that I expected it to, but there were a lot of factors at play that really like hindered and slowed down that process. But it is the 1 year of leaving, making that decision to go. I have had a lot of questions about it. You know, what was the reason that you decided to leave? What was your driving force behind it all? And I don't see these questions as, you know, nosy. I think that a lot of you saw my life and assumed it was one way when it really wasn't. And I completely understand that. I always try to be very real about the struggles in my marriage. I feel like I talked about the struggles a lot because I wanted you guys to know. But at the same time, I understand that social media is really a lie most of the time, right? Like, you put on your best face on social media. We're obviously not going to go on social media and fight in front of you guys, you know what I mean? So there's only so much that you can really know about a person or a person's family or a person's marriage through social media, because it's not real. But all that to say, I think a lot of these questions were sent to me because some of you all are struggling in your own marriages. And in a way, I think you've come to me to ask permission almost to see if like you leaving your spouse is a good choice for you or not. And I only know this because before I decided to make that decision for myself, I was trying to find answers everywhere. I was listening to podcasts and reading books and honestly hyper focused on it until I finally made that decision to go. And then it was like a very empowering feeling, right? And then I ended up here at my parents' house where I'm living, and then it all kind of hit me at once. I think I had been in survival mode for so long that I didn't get much chance to like think everything through. So once I was away from that, away from the toxicity of my living situation and my marriage, everything kind of just like crumbled down all at once. And I mean, that's separation and divorce for you. It's a very emotional, traumatic, intense experience. And I do have to say, I'm like really, really grateful for the way that it's turned out for us and the way that we've been able to co-parent, because we've been able to do it very successfully, and the kids are adjusting really well. But you know, divorce is a loss. Like, everyone's going to suffer from it a little bit. That's how it works. All this to say, I have an exciting announcement to make. If you follow me on Instagram, you already know about it, but my sister and I created a podcast. And initially it was a joke. We were at her very first bridal gown fitting, and I got on my stories and I said, who would like us to make a podcast called Engaged and Divorced? And I got a really good response from it. People were like, yes, do it. And I chuckled about it, kind of laughed it off, and I was like, that'd be cool. That'd be cool if that happened. But didn't actually think of it seriously. Well, it just kept popping up in my heart. You know, like when you're supposed to do something and it's like every day it's just kind of like gnawing at you. It's like, do it. you need to do this, you need to do that. Finally, it got to a point where I just couldn't ignore it anymore. I called Kylie, my sister, and I said, we need to do this podcast. And she was like, okay, cool, I'm on board. So I bought all the podcast equipment. We had no idea what we were doing, but we set up this pretty professional studio, I would say. And we started recording. We just started recording. Our very first episode that we recorded was about a month and a half ago, or maybe even 2 months ago. So it is like a little bit delayed as far as real time. But now that we have released our very first episode, we're now getting feedback from you guys, which has been great, because for a while we were just trying to think of topics that we could talk about without that feedback. But we really want it to be like a community-based podcast. We want you guys to give us your thoughts, your opinions, your ideas. So the podcast is called Engaged and Divorced. My sister is engaged, I'm divorced. So our tagline is, I've got the ring. That's what she says. And then I say, and I'm trying to figure out this damn thing. Because that's really what my life is right now. I'm just trying to figure out this damn thing. I don't really have any other words of wisdom at this point. I'm just trying to figure it out. So this podcast is really like a real, honest perspective of my life right now as I navigate life after divorce. We talk about a lot of things in it. The episode that's coming up, we're actually going to talk about dating, because that's one of the biggest questions that I have gotten. Shaylee, are you dating again? Well, listen to the podcast and you'll find out. We made it to where you could either watch the podcast on YouTube. Since I know you are so used to seeing me in this format, I wanted to give you that option so you could watch it on video if you prefer. Or there's the option to listen to it wherever you listen to podcasts. Right now it's on Spotify only. I'm trying to get it on iTunes, iHeartRadio, Amazon, all the things. So it might take another week or so to get it on all the platforms, but it will be on all the platforms very, very, very soon. So I have links to the Spotify page as well as our YouTube channel. Go give us a follow, go subscribe if this is something that you are interested in. I feel like with this podcast, even if you are not engaged or divorced, you're probably going to be able to relate to a lot of the things that we talk about because we're just navigating life, essentially. We even have a whole episode where we talk about the Enneagram, which is something we're really passionate about. And last week we filmed a drinking game episode. So you all get to see me in a totally different element than you're used to. I'm really coming out of my comfort zone this year, you guys. My goal this year is to be authentically myself. And I thought, what better way to be authentically myself than create a podcast where I probably share a little bit too much information. I feel like I can be myself more. Because I feel like with this podcast, the podcast itself has had so many life updates in it that it's been hard to like not share different parts of my life. So now that that's out into the world, I'm like, ooh, I can talk about some of this stuff in my videos on YouTube and share some of these experiences and change up my content a little bit. I think my channel is going to remain predominantly fashion, but I do have a second channel that I don't use. It's just sitting there with like 13,000 subscribers. It used to be my daily vlogging channel, but I privated all those videos and now there's just nothing there. So I'm probably going to end up using that channel for more vlog style videos or something. I'm still trying to figure that out. But I do know that I want to make other content rather than just fashion. Nothing wrong with the fashion videos. I love making fashion videos, but I just think I have like a lot of things to talk about. And these are honestly the kind of videos I love the most, is just like sharing what's on my heart, sharing what's on my mind, or if I have like a specific subject, like how do I love my body better? Or, you know, how did you find confidence wearing a bathing suit? Like those are my favorite kinds of videos because these videos connect to you guys on a different level. I'm so glad that you get inspiration and encouragement from my fashion videos, but I hope that ultimately you feel that I'm relatable, that I'm a friend, And when you come to this channel or you see me on socials, you just feel that. You feel that with me, where it's like, I'd be friends with her in real life. That's all I care about. I've never been about the numbers, the followers, or any of that. I want to build my connections deep. I want my audience to come along with me and we go deep together. That's kind of always been my personal goal. Just stay tuned. I'll keep you updated. What else? I'm still living with my parents, obviously. With this economy, I am not sure if I'm ever gonna move out. It's crazy. It's insane. I honestly don't know how people are surviving right now, and I don't know what I would do if it weren't for them, for my parents taking me in. I don't know. It's crazy. I would like to move out sooner rather than later, not because I don't enjoy being here, but because, and I talk about this in the podcast a little bit, I just, I went from like getting married at 19 and being thrown into a marriage and then leaving him and coming back here. And I've never really lived on my own. I've never really had that like real sense of independence. So that is something that I would definitely love to experience. It would allow me to really step out of my comfort zone in new ways. So that's definitely a goal, but we have to figure out how we're going to get there. Through the years, I've definitely talked about this with you guys a little bit, but my income has significantly dropped. I used to be able to do this full time with like an actual full-time salary, but it is not that way anymore. So I'm just trying to figure it all out. I'm just trying to figure out this damn thing. I'm probably going to have to get a job, and I don't really know when I'm going to be able to do that, but it will have to be when the kids go back to school. Because right now I have them like 5 out of 7 of the days right now is how the schedule is. So I have them 5 days a week. There's no way that I'd be able to work full time. I don't know what I want to do yet. I don't know what I want to be when I grow up. I can't see myself quitting YouTube, and I wouldn't even want to do that. I really do love making videos. It's a big passion of mine. But I have to think long term as well. Once you become a single mom, shit gets real. Boyser, can you please stop? There's nobody at the door. I would be completely lying if I said that I haven't had sleepless nights where I'm just like worried about the future. That's definitely a real thing. And I think it's important to share this with you all too, because this is reality. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what the future looks like. I don't know. I've thought about going back to college maybe and getting a degree, but then it's like I'm gonna have student loans forever. And if I did go back to school, I think I would do something like become a therapist. Because I really think, I don't know, I think I have a gift in that. I've always been that person that people kind of just come to me and talk to me about all their problems, even when I don't know them. They're complete strangers, but they tell me everything because they feel comfortable telling me. And I love that. I've always really loved that. And obviously I'm very passionate about mental health and therapy. So I think it'd be cool to become a therapist myself. Even actually, my therapist actually told me that I should become a therapist. After one of our sessions, she pulled me aside and she's like, you need to be a therapist. So who knows? I might become one day, but that's a lot of school and a lot of student loans. It feels kind of overwhelming right now. I'm trying to focus on like what I can do currently. So I know I'm just like talking and just, this is me trying to process it out loud. I know I'm gonna figure it out. I know that everything will be okay. It's just a totally new season of life that I'm trying to adjust to, and I feel like I have no clue what I'm doing. I keep saying this, but it's true. I don't. And it's okay to admit that. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just taking it a day at a time. And for this summer, I'm just gonna continue making content, trying to make it more regular. But once again, I do have my kids 5 out of 7 days, so it's a little harder to find times to film. Like right now, they're up in their bedroom trying to be quiet, but you can still kind of hear them. And then once they go back to school, who knows? Who knows what will happen? I don't know. I don't know. But we'll figure that out when we get to it. We'll figure that out when we get to it. I do have a manager who helps me get brand deals. And she told me over the phone the other day when we had like our business call, she told me that basically every influencer is struggling right now with making an income like they were before. I think brands are just charging less, that they're lowballing, you know. They don't have the budgets anymore, or they're just trying to make the budgets less. It's such a, there's so much competition now too with like getting brands to sponsor you. And I would say like 30%. Are you going outside? Okay. I think 30% of my income comes from brand deals. So it's a big chunk. It's a big chunk. And when you don't have that income coming in, there's no real reliable income. And YouTube has never been super reliable for me anyway. Every month is something different. There hasn't been a ton of consistency. So that's one of the reasons why this year I'm just like, let's think of new things to do. A podcast. We've never done it. I don't know if I'm gonna make any money from it. And truly that's not my goal with it. I really just did want to share this like part of myself that a lot of you haven't really fully seen. And now that I just feel like I can be myself and not hold back, I think it's cool to document that process. I have another project I'm working on, but I don't want to talk about it quite yet because I haven't started it. But me telling you guys I'm working on it gives me a little bit more accountability. So I need to get going on that and get that going. Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to stay above water right now. Just being a mom and helping out my grandma still after my grandpa's death, and trying to heal from this divorce. And yeah, that's my life update. So that's all I got today. But like I said, if you follow my podcast, whether you want to listen to it or watch it on YouTube, you're gonna find out a lot more of like what's going on in my life. And yeah, I'm excited for you guys to follow along. This is like a project that I'm just so excited about. I wanted to do a podcast for so long, and it's a lot of fun. I look forward to recording these episodes every week. It's super fun. It's kind of like therapy in a way because we're processing things out loud, kind of like what I'm doing here with this, and it's just been really fun. So anyways, I feel like I'm just rambling at this point, but thank you guys for watching all the way until the end of this video. I'll leave that secret emoji if you stayed all the way until the end. I appreciate your love. I appreciate your support. You guys are amazing. Amazing. And thanks for being here. Thanks for following my journey. For those of you who have been here since I was pregnant with Eden, which was 10 years ago. It'll be my 10-year anniversary in October. Wow. I just want to say thanks, because that's an entire decade of you guys just being here and being loyal. Like, you guys are the coolest, seriously. Especially with all the changes and ebbs and flows of life. I'm not the same woman I was 10 years ago. And thank goodness for that. We live, we learn, we grow. I love you guys. I hope that you're having a great week. I will see you in my next video.